here haven't. We're about to march to the Lockheed Martin factory, but this is part of 3 protests happening today, one in Sheffield, one in Rochester, one here, that are focused on the companies that are crucial to the supply chain for the parts for F-35s. Now, under public pressure, the government did take some action in September to stop the sale or stop the granting of licenses for the sale of some weapons to Israel, but a tiny proportion of the weapons that have been sent. And most importantly, it did not stop Britain's supply of F-35 parts, which are crucial. You know, these are supplying the parts for the weapons that are being used to wreak devastation on Gaza, destroying over 90% of the housing in Gaza, hospitals, schools, all the infrastructure of life in Gaza that has been absolutely devastated as Israel has unleashed its genocide. There have been no red lines for the government on this, not the slaughter of 55,000 Palestinians, not those attacks on hospitals, on health workers, on schools, not even the implementation of a process of forced starvation, since in March for 3 months Israel effectively cut off all food, all water, all essential supplies into Gaza. As one UN official put it, nothing was allowed into Gaza by Israel except from bombs. Even that was not a red line. But the pressure is mounting on the government. An opinion poll we commissioned 2 weeks ago showed that by a margin of 4 to 1, the British public support our demand for a full arms embargo. Right now, of course, we're seeing Israel employing its usual tactic of trying to distract attention by launching an assault on Iran, another violation of international law, to change the conversation, to make this a conversation about do you support the Iranian regime or do you stand with Israel. We're not going to allow that distraction. This is an attempt to relieve the pressure, to distract attention, to enable it to continue with its genocide in Gaza whilst trying to extend its power across the Middle East. So the demands for an arms embargo are going to increase. We're here today to press those demands at the gates of the arms factory that are supplying the weapons. We'll be taking these demands back to the streets of the capital on Saturday, when we anticipate we'll be marching 500,000 strong once more.
First of all, I would like to say thank you to all the fantastic investigative journalists, the work that Palestine Solidarity Campaign has done, Declassified, Al Haq, like some fantastic groups, because we know our government's not telling us the truth. And it was only through that we found out that actually that is the address that's been responsible for sending parts of the F-35 directly from the RAF base Marham in Norwich to the airbase in Israel, from where they're used to bomb civilians in Gaza. So that, you know, this is all information that's been activists have found out, and so that's why Lockheed Martin is an absolute focus. We know today also there will be huge mobilisations at BAE Systems in Rochester in Kent, and at Forge Solutions, another arms company in Sheffield, as well as other mobilisations that we'll also hear about. But so we are going to do a short introduction here, tell you a bit about the march. It's quite a short march today down to the Lockheed Martin site, which is not far, so we'll tell you more about that in a minute. But I think next we are going to I think what we wanted to do is get a bit of noise and get a bit of energy going, and I can see everybody's brought fantastic energy with you today. So I think some people have brought pots and pans, and we've got drummers, we've got the Extinction Rebellion Brighton drummers here. So anybody that's brought anything, please make some noise. And I have brought some, but I've realised I haven't got any spare hands. So if anybody could play a cowbell, a tambourine or a hand drum, please come and grab it and start making some noise.
We are the people. 2. We won't be silent.
3.
Arms embargo now.
Now. 1.
We are the people.
2.
We won't be silent.
3.
Arms embargo now.
Right. Thanks all. I would like to first start off by thanking the Palestine Solidarity Campaign, the local chapter of the Portsmouth Palestine Solidarity Campaign, the Palestine Solidarity Movement, and everybody who is here for being here. So give everybody a round of applause. This is such a welcome escalation from one of the biggest Palestine solidarity organizations in the UK and in the world. I think it is more important than ever that we implement the People's Arms Embargo on weapons to Israel. As this genocide gets worse, not better, as millions are being starved and as aid is being used as weapons of genocide, it is more critical than ever we tell the manufacturers of this genocide, we say no. It is incredibly important that students, that academics, that working people, that everybody with a conscience stands up for Palestine, because we know that their liberation is directly connected to our liberation. And it is because we stand in solidarity, it is because we fight, that we know that we will win. As Iran rightfully and legally under international law defends itself from further Israeli aggression, we say no to war. We reject Keir Starmer's escalations against Iran wholeheartedly, and we call it out for what it is, which is more meddling in the Middle East. We say no to inter-imperialist conflicts. We say no to war. We say no to weapons being built on our doorstep. And of course, we should applaud the many people who are taking action today in Rochester and in Sheffield. We applaud all of these mobilizations. We applaud the brave direct actionists who are taking the fight directly to Elbit Systems, to Lockheed Martin, to all of the financiers of genocide. As we speak right now, over 18 political prisoners who are charged with the crime of stopping genocide are still locked up and have been locked up for 18 months. Shame! It is critical that we fight for our political prisoners, for every single Palestinian hostage, for every single siege-breaking mechanism that people are taking, whether it is the Samud convoy that has been stopped by the traitorous Egyptian regime, whether it is the Madeleine who was illegally stopped in international waters, whether it is the brave activists in sort of the Zionist entity resisting conscription and military occupation. We applaud them and we stand with them. We know that we will win. We know that the world is in crisis at the moment and that we can leverage that to our advantage. NATO, a massive proponent of war and death, not just in the Middle East, not just in Palestine, but around the world, is at its weakest. It is important that we resist NATO internationally and with as many people as possible. We resist the weapons manufacturers. We resist this traitorous government and all traitorous regimes around the world who stand against the Palestinian people's right for liberation and self-determination. And because we are standing on the right side of history, we will win.
From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. From the river to the sea, free, 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 free. From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. From the river to the sea, free, free, free.
How can I start? Can't get the image out of my heart. When we've seen the bodies found in a mountain of parts, Netanyahu told you just another child in the dark. Clear it's gonna take much more than thousands to march, more than a speech, more than a poem, more than a track of music. Gonna take more than a sit down. That's abusive. Even
All
bringing back
Palestinian
ambassadors.
and Palestine will always be Palestine. It will never be Israel.